Here. So today we're talking about anxiety. So if you are someone who is tired of anxiety dictating your life, then let's go through this video and explore how to alleviate that and eliminate that from your experience forever. Because anxiety is not something that you have to experience. So the main thing that I want to talk about in this video is not just like different tips and tricks and techniques and things that you can utilize to alleviate anxiety. We'll go over that, but the main thing that I want to convey in this video is ways in which you can permanently alleviate anxiety from your experience. I used to suffer from extreme anxiety. It was bad. And I don't anymore. I haven't experienced anxiety in over 10 years. I want to help other people to figure that out because I'm not unique. This is something that anyone can do. You just have to, one, understand the metaphysical mechanics of the mind and how the mind is functioning with anxiety, and then understand the ways in which you can cause your mind to work in a different way. And so, it is simple, but it's not necessarily easy. But that's fine. It wasn't overnight that you became a very anxious person. So it's not going to be overnight that you become someone who no longer experiences anxiety. So the first thing that I want to convey to you is that, well, first, I just want to say, don't believe anything that you hear me say ever in any video. Instead, take the different metaphysical concepts that I provide for you and find ways to discover what's true for yourself. You never want to just believe anyone outside of yourself. The difference between believing and knowing is experience. And so you want to cultivate an experience for yourself. So that's why in all of these videos that I share, I talk about different ways where you can implement these concepts into your life so that you can create experiences for yourself, so that you can know what is true and what is not, versus having to rely on believing anybody. You don't want to rely on believing me because I could just be full of shit, making stuff up, and you just have to, rely on whether you're going to believe me or not. But instead, find ways to create experiences for yourself to know. So if you're someone who experiences anxiety, then you want to apply these techniques into your life, create your own experience, conduct your own experiments. That's why I talk about being a metaphysician, because metaphysics is a scientific term. Be a scientist, conduct your own experiments, find your own research, conduct your own findings to discover what is true for yourself. And you want to document things. One of the very first steps that I would suggest for anyone experiencing anxiety is keep a little journal. I mean, it could just be in your phone in the notes. Have a document record of, it is January 6th at 11:51 p.m. I'm starting to feel anxious. I'm thinking about these kind of things. I'm worried about this. Just document your thoughts, and then apply these different techniques, and then put that in there. What did you do in the moment? And then afterwards, maybe 30 minutes later, come back and see, redocument 30 minutes later, or redocument an hour later, or redocument immediately after. But be a scientist with it and conduct your own findings. Then after 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, you can go back. One, you can more easily and more clearly see how far you've come. Because, a lot of us, we can look at how much we've grown. Like everybody here, if you think about where you were a year ago or even 5 years ago, you can easily identify how much you've grown over the last year or 5 years. But if you were to be able to go back and look at, different things that you wrote about and documented, it would be a lot easier to see just how much you've grown over the last year or 5 years. So documenting it has that effect as well. But what you want to do is, one thing, the first thing that I would want to convey is that your outer reality is going to be a direct reflection of your inner reality. And so anxiety is an emotion, and emotions are road signs. They are indications for you, because if you think about a road sign is just there to help you navigate best navigate and get to the destination you're wanting to go. You see a road sign, oh, this is my exit. Oh, this is the speed limit. Let me slow down a little bit. Oh, there's a yield sign. Let me, be extra cautious in looking around at what other people are doing. Oh, this is a stop sign. Oh, it's a green light. So emotions or road signs give you indication on how best to adjust how you're navigating in getting to your destination. Well, just like in life, this emotions work the same way in life. Your emotions are road signs indicating to you what ways you need to adjust in order to best navigate in your path in life, in getting to your destination, the goals and desires that you have in life. So when you have an emotion coming up, you need to identify that road sign, identify what it's telling you, and heed the message. You know what I mean? If I look up and I say, oh, exit 39, this is my exit, and then I don't get off, I don't do anything about it, then what does that road sign even do for me? It doesn't do anything. If I try to avoid it and not even pay attention, I'm not even paying attention to this. Speed limit 60, I'm not paying attention to this, man, because I'm going 90 right now. I'm not even paying attention to this. That doesn't do anything for you. Avoiding the emotions isn't going to do anything for you. Just trying to suffer through the anxiety and wait for it to be over isn't going to do anything for you. So remember what emotions are for, the purpose of emotions. And so then it'll be easier to realize, oh, anxiety's here. I'm experiencing anxiety right now. And then by understanding that, it'll immediately shift you into, what is the purpose of this anxiety? What is it trying to tell me? How is it trying to indicate that I need to move differently? And so when you understand the root cause of anxiety, because all emotions are just manifestations of thoughts. Every thought seeks to manifest, and our reality is created by our thoughts. Our thoughts create our reality. As you think, so you become. It's in every ancient culture. It's in every holy scripture. As you think, so you become. As a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. And so your thoughts create your reality, but as they move into the physical reality, in order to get into the physical reality, they have to move through the emotional level. And so so a thought first manifests into your emotions before it manifests into your physical waking reality, before it manifests into your physical being. Before you have any sickness or ailment within your physical body, you will first have an ailment directly correlated with it within the emotions. So your emotions can be huge signs and indicators before you have any type of physical ailment to deal with. But with anxiety, with all ailments and emotional ailments, you want to look at the thought cause first, because that is the root. There's a lot of insights that people give that are very beneficial with anxiety, related to anxiety and alleviating anxiety. But a lot of them, the majority of them, are just going to help alleviate the emotion within the present moment experience. I can do some breathing. I'm feeling very anxious. Let me do some breathing. And okay, the emotion has subsided. But that's not going to ensure that anxiety does not peek its head again later on down the road. You need to remove the root cause of the anxiety. And so, just like if you have a garden and you have weeds popping up in your garden, like, man, this is not what I want. I'm trying to grow these tulips and roses, and here come these dandelions and milkweeds. You know what I mean? Let me remove. So if you just pluck the weed at the ground surface level, you're going to stand back after 20 minutes and look at your garden and be like, oh, this is beautiful. This is amazing. I have flowers. You're going to do your breathing exercise, and 5-10 minutes later, the anxiety's gone. This is beautiful. This is what I desire. This is amazing. But if you didn't uproot those weeds, just give it a little time, it's going to come back up. It's going to sprout back up. You know what I mean? So just like if you do not take care of the root cause of the anxiety, it will sprout back up into your life. So how do you do that? What do you do? Well, you look at the thought cause. What are the thoughts that are creating these anxious experiences? And the thought cause of anxiety is scattered attention. Your attention is scattered. All negative emotions, almost all negative emotions primarily exist either within the future or the past. You know what I mean? Like grief, sadness, depression, um, regret. All of these emotions are, road signs telling you, indicating to you that you're giving too much attention to the past. You're dwelling on the past far too much, and you're giving it too much importance and too much attention, because energy flows where the attention goes, and you're feeding too much energy into the past. When you're in the present right now, the past is dead and gone. It no longer exists. You are in the present moment. So you are going to feel some type of way that isn't comfortable because you are not here and now. You're trying to exist somewhere that no longer exists. So there's a disconnect, there's a discomfort there. Anxiety, along with worry and fear, things like that, are your attention in the future. Too much in the future. You're dwelling in the future too much. The future isn't here yet. So what is there to worry about? What is there to be afraid of? What is there to be concerned about? What is there to be anxious of? Anxiety, you playing the what if game the wrong way. Man, what if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? You driving down the highway, man, what if my tire blows and I just lose control? What if my steering goes out? What if my brakes go out? What if this thing pops off the edge of this truck? Like what? You sitting there, maybe you're a student and you have a test coming up and you're anxious about that. Man, what if I'm not prepared enough? What if I miss, what if I fail this test? What if I fail this class? What if I fail this semester? What if this? What if that? You're worrying about things that do not exist in the present moment. Your attention is too much in the future. You're scattered. Your attention is scattered into things that you don't want. So you're giving attention. Energy flows where the attention goes. You're putting your attention on things that you do not want to occur. And so you're feeding more energy into those thought forms, which is going to cause those thought forms to have more ability to manifest within your life. And so then the anxiety is created. And then when you get into extreme anxiety, you actually start manifesting these things you've been worried about and anxious about. And it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You then feel, oh man, see, I knew it. I knew I had a reason to be worried. But it's you need to understand that with anxiety, it's because you have scattered attention. Your attention is jumping from this to this to this. And it's in the future. You're worried about what's going on in the future that does not presently exist within the present moment. And so, we can use our breath to alleviate that emotion, because the breath ties the soul to the body. When the long breath, especially the long breath technique, that will get rid of anxiety like that. Any negative emotion, the long breath will get rid of anxiety like that. Let's go ahead and, like I said, don't believe anything that I say, but let's go ahead and have a practice and see for ourselves what kind of effect the long breath has. You don't have to write it down, but I suggest go ahead and write down right now. Take a little time to write down. You can pause the video or something unless you're on the live. Pause the video and write down what are you feeling right now. You don't have to be exact. Just whatever comes to mind. What are you feeling? What kind of mental state are you in? What kind of state of mind are you in? And just jot something down real quick. And then we'll go ahead and breathe a little bit. So with the long breath technique, all it is that long breath, taking long, slow, deep breaths, breathing longer and longer, slower and slower, deeper and deeper. So that's all we're going to do. So we'll do like 5 breaths. So breathe in, deep, deep, fill up all your lungs. No need to hold it. And exhale, slowly, slowly. That's just 1. Now breathe in again. Long, slow, deep breaths. And then exhale. Long, slow, deep breaths. And inhale. And exhale. Taking longer and longer, slower and slower, deeper and deeper breaths. We've only done 3 breaths so far. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now that was just 5 breaths. Now, how do you feel? Now, write down, after you wrote down how you felt in your state of mind, now write down, I did 5 long breaths, only 5. And now write down how you feel. Now write down your state of mind, the type of thoughts you're having. And that, I mean, that's simple. There it is. And so, it is scientifically impossible for any negative, unproductive emotion to remain when you're doing the long breath. It's impossible. I challenge anybody to prove me wrong on that. Please do. But I know that you cannot. And so I would love you to challenge me and so that you can know whether you can or can't. Now, depending on how extreme the emotion is, may determine that you need more than 5 breaths. Maybe you need 5 minutes of breaths, which is probably only like 25, 30 breaths. I mean, that was only 5 breaths. We probably did it for like a minute, minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes even, so it don't take a lot, but the long breath is very key. It is definitely something you want to have in your toolbox. Maybe anxiety isn't what you experience and suffer from. Maybe it's anger. Maybe you're quick to be angry about something. I mean, you can use the long breath for that. Maybe it's sadness. Maybe you're sad about something. Maybe you have overwhelming grief. Maybe you lost a loved one or something. Lost a child or something. The long breath isn't going to take care of these things that are causing the emotion, but it will help alleviate the energy of the emotion within the present moment. And one thing that can afford you is it will allow you to make clearer choices. You can then better respond to things in your environment and experiences and situations you're in versus reacting to them. And so, that the long breath is something, along with many other techniques that are out there for alleviating anxiety. But again, all that's doing is ripping up the weed. I mean, that's just removing the emotion from your current present moment experience. You can do it 1,000 times every time that the anxiety comes up for the next 1,000 times. And it's not really going to do much for permanently alleviating the experience of anxiety from your life. And so the way to do that is to take out the root, which is the thought cause, which is, like I said, scattered attention. So how do we do that? What are the metaphysical mechanics of doing that? Well, you have to reprogram your mind. If you're someone who experiences anxiety regularly, especially extreme anxiety, you have programmed your mind to think in these ways. Our thoughts create our reality. We all have the capability of manifesting anything that we want, no matter what experience you have gone through, no matter what trauma you have lived through, no matter if you are no matter what you've experienced, you can create something different for yourself. Anyone can create anything different for themselves. Universal law of infinity. So no matter what it is, you can create something new. So if you've created the experience of anxiety regularly, it probably took time in the ways in which you've had your mind programmed. Maybe you didn't consciously choose to program your mind in this way, but if this is the way that your mind is working, then it is evidence of your mind having been programmed in this way. So we need to reprogram it in a new way. If it's currently running off of a program that is, like a computer, a computer gets a virus. You want to remove the virus. A virus ain't nothing but a program. Your current programs are being affected by a different programming. A different coding within the program. So you need to recode your mind. You need to reprogram your mind. So if you're currently programmed to scatter your attention, one, that's just a manifestation of not having any control over your attention. So then we need to understand what our attention is. What is your attention? How do you control your attention? Can you control your attention? Your concentration is your ability to control your attention. Just like visualization is your ability to control your imagination. Concentration is your ability to control your attention. Anyone, no matter who they are, whether they have ADD, ADHD, you have the ability to control your attention. ADD is just the attention deficit disorder. You have a deficit in the ability to control your attention. ADHD just means that you have done so long, or maybe it's already developed this way beforehand, but you were kind of early on grew up programming your mind in such a strong way that you're neurologically, your neurons are firing off in this way because you're even more ingrained. But you can remove your neurons. You can remove the pathways within your brain. Even you can change all of that. Neuroplasticity. It's real. And so, but anyways, once you reprogram your mind, then the body will follow. So you have to first learn how to control your attention, dictate where your attention is, and direct it. Just give it direction. Just give it direction. Right now, place your attention on your big toe of your right foot. Just put your attention there. You don't have to look at it for your attention to be there. Just put your attention there. Now move your attention to your left pinky nail. Now move your attention to your chin. Now move your attention to your heart and hold your attention on your heart. Now move your attention to the space behind you. What is your attention? Give your attention direction. Are you in control of your attention? How often are you in control of your attention? Maybe you're not in control of your attention. Maybe someone or something else has captured your attention. How long have you been scrolling on here before you came across my video? How long were you in control of what you scrolled on? Or were you just mindlessly scrolling? How often you been on this app? How long you been here? What made you even open it up? Did you consciously choose to open it up? How well are you in control of your attention? How well does your attention listen when you give it a direction on where to go? How strong is your willpower? How long can you hold your attention somewhere? So the root cause of anxiety is scattered attention. Your attention is, you have no control over your attention, and it's just moving, zipping about amongst many different future scenarios within your imagination. So the root cause, the remedy, the thought cause that will remedy this is anchoring your attention within the present moment. Because your attention scattered in your imagination and all these future events, like I said, the future does not exist. Tomorrow never arrives. It's always today. It's always right now. It's never 5 minutes from now. Ever. It's always right now. Time and clocks are just a way to identify the evolution of the present moment. but it's always the present moment. So anchor yourself in the present moment. How do you do that? Through your five senses, through your physical senses. That's how we experience the present moment. You know what I mean? So what I would suggest is practice this every day, 3 times a day. Do it when you first wake up, do it somewhere in the middle of the day, and do it before you go to sleep. And then also do it anytime you're experiencing anxiety. But take a moment to really look at what you're seeing. Try to give all of your attention, your undivided attention to what you're seeing, not just what you're looking at directly, but use your peripheral as well. What are you seeing? Look at things the way you've never looked at them before. I mean, what are you smelling? Give all your attention to your smell. Some people, they don't smell anything. I mean, because they've programmed their mind's been programmed in such a way, they've gone through their life so long without giving any attention to their olfactory sense. So they just have no attention there. So it has no function. But they can begin again with practice. I mean, what are you smelling? Give your attention to what you're smelling. What are you hearing? You're hearing babies playing in the background? You're hearing cars off in the distance? You're able to hear your own vibration? What are you hearing? What are you tasting? You tasting the air? You tasting your breath? You tasting the meal you ate earlier? What are you tasting? You just tasting your saliva? Saliva has a taste. What are you tasting? What are you feeling? What are you feeling? What are you feeling externally? I mean, feel the temperature on your skin. Feel the clothes on your skin. What are you feeling internally? Feel your muscles, your tissues, your organs, your bones. I mean, feel your face. Feel your spine. Send your attention from your brain down your spine. Then send it back up your spine, back to the brain. That's a whole technique right there. But, anyways, we'll get into that another time. What are you feeling now? You've given your attention to all of the senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. Now can cycle through it one more time. And now try the best you can. Maybe if you're early on just practicing this, maybe you can't do it right away, but try to give your attention to all 5 senses at the same time. And just practice that. Do that every morning, every night, and sometime in the middle of your day. And then, of course, do it anytime you're experiencing anxiety. Maybe you do the long breath to get the emotion out of the way, so you can have that, this is nice feeling. And then do this technique. And be a scientist. Write down what you experienced. Write down what your experience was like. And then, do this for 90 days and then come back and tell us what you experienced. I'm sure you'll have a tremendous transformation well before 90 days. But be diligent, be disciplined, use your willpower, and do it for 90 days. You know what I mean? Self-love is the discipline is the greatest form of self-love. If you truly want to change, you will do this. You know what I mean? Why would you not want to put in work? I mean, I know why. It's a lot easier to just pop a pill and not deal with it. You know what I mean? It's a lot easier. It's more comfortable to keep doing the same thing because that's what you're used to. You know what to expect there. You know what I mean? So many people want change, but they don't want to do the work that is required in order to change. You can change your life, but you have to do the work. You have to make it happen. So make it happen. Let me know how it goes. Peace.